Hi there, and welcome to Yarnchix podcast 61. Had a really busy weekend last weekend, so I thought I'll say hello. My name is Mimi. I am Liebwed on Instagram, and I have and host this here podcast called Yarnchix Podcast. Let's start with calming down because I'm a bit wired. With a deep breath in and a deep breath out. I always open my podcast with like a visual interim to show what's coming, so you're prepared. So I'll share that with you, and then we're straight in. This podcast episode is called Focus. So I hope you enjoyed the little glimpses, and maybe it gave you a chance to grab a drink or your project, whatever craft you're currently working on. I hope it fulfills you and it's fun. I have finished some items and decided for this podcast that it is called Focus because I want to leave out the admin for once. I want to just talk about the projects, and then you will have a chance to find information in the box below. So all the kind of projects are listed there, and the admin-y stuff you can find there. And I will only show what I finished and what I've got on the needles and what I've got brewing, so as to keep it a bit different and a bit short and a little bit more focused, maybe less waffly admin-y stuff, because to be honest, I'm just a bit bored of repeating the same things over and over, and I hope that is not boring for you in general, but here I am waffling anyway. I have a kind of list of things that I want to go through, and I call it the No Admin episode 61. That was a working title, and now I decided on the Tarot Oracle question, so I changed it to Focus. I have two finished objects that I have made from linomukakal, and they are here. I finished a t-shirt and a top. So let's begin with what I finished first. Well, they were both finished within like 3 days of each other, so it kind of was happening alongside both projects were happening alongside each other for a long time already, so the finishing was also alongside. This is the Tao Tee. I cast this on 1st of April as part of our knit along with linen yarn. This is linomukakal by Wollen Berlin, so 2 strands, and I don't know if you can tell, I mean the camera is blowing it out, but it also kind of is apparent now. I've got a bit of a dye lot issue. I've got a stripe that is kind of brightly lighter and different right across my chest. I don't know. I always double check dye lots for everyone else who shops with us, but I accidentally must have grabbed a new dye lot when I got my own lot. I really like this color, and also I don't really mind the stripe. I think when I wear it, it doesn't really show. I'm just so happy I finished. I'll never go back because it's in the part that I knit flat, so it means you have a knit row and then a purl row, and to be honest I was suffering throughout that because my gauge was a bit loose in the purl rows, and I ended up going down to a 2.25 needle for the purl rows and carried on using the 2.75 that I had been using throughout the project for the knit rows, and it was just a bit tedious. I knitted size 6, which is 2 sizes bigger than my size, because I wanted this oversized look, and it was really successful. Like, I really like the way it looks when I wear it, and I shared a little reel. I'm gonna try and include that here to show you that before I blocked it, it was truly wonky, and like the stitches were kind of twisted slightly to one side, which happens a lot with vegan, like, you know, fiber yarns, because when they're spun they have much more energy in, well, it's kind of a tougher material, so it kind of has more of that energy, especially if you hold 2 strands and both of that kind of spun energy goes in the same direction, and it kind of gives it that stiffness in that direction. As soon as you wet block it though, all that goes away and it now hangs straight, and it doesn't curl up as much anymore on the edge, and it just sits beautifully. I added a really small sleeve just as suggested in the pattern by Kiyomi Burgin. I really like this very wearable garment. It's super classic t-shirt look. And yeah, the shoulder shaping is great. It's a shoulder shaping that's done with short rows, and it sits very, very nicely on the shoulder. So the back and the front of my Tao Tee, I really, really feel like this is a great staple for summer, and I'm excited that I have this finished t-shirt. Maybe one last thing, I used the colorway Plum, new to us colorway. That's a cat moving between rooms. And our creepy French doors, creaky French doors. I also made a top from the most recent Pom Pom publication, issue number 45, and the design is by Heidi, what's her last? By Heidi, I don't remember the last name. I will put the Instagram account and name down here so that you have the information. And the pump top was a design that was actually designed from linomukakal, and we were all so excited that we've got the yarn from our in-house yarn in a publication. I think that's a first for us. We're very excited because that's the first time like Pom Pom has included our yarn. This is the result. I used our Japanese sunset colorway, this really bright red, and I hacked it a bit. I changed the sleeves, well, not sleeves, the straps to these garter knit straps in a contrast colorway. I really like to have wider straps on my summer tops, just in case I need to hide like a bikini or a bra strap. And, oh, look at it. It's so bright. I love it. And it's a very nice texture to knit. It's knit on 3.75 needles, so at a much looser gauge, but I'm like, I really like it. It's still has this kind of cool drapey texture, and I guess because you knit it this way and then turn the kind of pearl side on the outside. I mean, it is a see-through top, but it still kind of has shape and structure, and it's not as loosey-goosey as I would have expected at a looser gauge. I like the frill, like this kind of effect of then knitting and having like stocking stitch or stockinette stitch lying flat as a little kind of ruffle at the top. And I wear it over t-shirts or dresses, and so far I've really enjoyed having this as a finished top. Obviously with the needle size, it was a very fast knit. I think I only took a bit of time because I was knitting parallel to the Taro Tee and kept kind of changing between the two projects, but it was, you know, a garment that I could have whipped up in, let's say, 2 weeks of focused knitting. Other people are probably even faster, but I'm not a fast knitter. I kind of take my time with things, and I really enjoyed making these little changes to it, and I like wearing it, and I like Heidi's pattern. So thank you, Heidi, for this really cool pom top pattern from Pom Pom issue 45. In this case, I knitted a size 4. Sorry that I didn't mention that before. And yeah, so this I knitted size 6 at a tight gauge, and I used 300 grams, so 6 skeins of linomukakal held double. And for the pom top, I knitted size 4, and I used 200 grams, so that's 4 skeins of linomukakal. Obviously a little bit less. I also used the contrast color for the straps. So yeah, I think it's a very good way to kind of calculate for t-shirts or tight gauge knit tops with longer sleeves or that are quite wider. I generally use 6 skeins, and for tops that are sleeveless with straps, I would generally use 4 skeins. And if I were to make something bigger or with 3 strands, like what I'm wearing, this is the Sun Gazer sweater by James N. Watts. I used 340 grams, so that's 7 skeins, or would be 7 skeins, but I used so many leftovers and just marled using 3 strands, so I interchanged having 2 strands with one color, like popping up here, for example, I used the light green next to the gold brown, or here in the middle I used 2 strands of red with 1 strand of fuchsia, and I just went through my leftovers, and I enjoyed that. In our brick and mortar shop we have like mini skeins that are just 10 grams, and we sell them only in the shop because it would be too much effort to sell online with all the different colors, so we sell them there for €1. And I just picked out 3 different minis, like the purple, and I don't know, I just kind of marled and had so much fun using up leftovers. And in general, when I use 3 strands for any t-shirt or top, I would need around 330, well, let's say 7 skeins of linomukakal. So just to give you a bit of a rough yardage or use of yarn for that. And again, those 2 I knit as part of this year's knit along. When I finish 2 things, I cast on 2 things. It's generally my habit in knitting or crafting in general that I have 3 projects parallel. there is a crochet bag that I'm working on, but as I was crocheting at a tight gauge, I started getting a really achy arm, so that's in the naughty corner for a little bit. I might pick it up during the holiday when I'm working more relaxed, but at the moment it's also hibernating somewhere. I don't even know where I've put it. So instead I cast on 2 new things, one for me and one for my child. So we have Magic 3 Mile happening now, and I will show some of my drawings for that in a minute. For now, let's show you what I cast on, especially as it was Wedding Wool Weekend, which you will see at the end as the knit reportage, and we had Sari Nordlund visiting. I wanted to knit one of her patterns to celebrate that she was here in town and visiting, and to, yeah, I just wanted to have a fun project on the needles that is a bit more demanding, and definitely lace patterns like this are a joy for the brain, because it's like a code that you learn, and every row in the chart is fun and easily memorized, and then you just go for the row, and then it's a new thing that you have to memorize. And I realized like 2 repeats in and I'm already, yep, I got it. It's really, really potato chippy. I really enjoy knitting this. It's the Kuutar Tee by Sari Nordlund, who we got to see and whose amazing samples were shown during the Wedding Wool Weekend. I grabbed some footage of that, which I'm very pleased with. Look at that, just crunchy, crunchy lace. I am using the golden brown colorway, which is one of the colors that I've always kind of felt like using for a t-shirt. I almost went for a second Taro tee in this color like early on, because I was enjoying the kind of round and round of stockinettes. But as I'm knitting this top down, when I finish the lace, I will have a round and round of stockinette coming from the top down, which I might, in hindsight, or generally have learned that I prefer, like knitting top down. Patterns, I still love my Tao Tee and I'm still considering making a new one, but I am now happy I'm knitting a t-shirt top down. Look at this kind of crunchy lace. This with the linomukakal, it will really open up beautifully once it's blocked, because it's such a the yarn is very crunchy and tough, and you have a beautiful stitch definition which translates greatly for lace structures. I hope it will be not too see-through as in the stockinette part, but I'm using 2.7 millimeter needles, so once that gets wet, the texture's like this, and you can kind of hardly see through that. I'm quite a tight knitter, maybe I should have added that. And so I think, as this is also a dark color, it will be exactly this texture, and I will love it. Here, this is the golden brown color as well, and I think it's a great shiny glowing color. I will love that as a kind of lacy t-shirt top. I'm about halfway through the lace pattern, and yeah, I'm excited. That means I will finish it this summer, because it will be my kind of go-to brain jogging project for the next couple of weeks whilst the children are home from school. And the second project, which is the first project that I'm talking about for Magic 3 Mile this year. I might have spoken about projects before, but it's the first one I've got on my needles to show you, is the other new cast on, and a mid-row. Which way? Maybe I should knit that to the end, and I'll show you some glimpses of my linen knitting. So yeah, I've cast on a new Parachutey, and I will show you the Parachutey. It will yeah, it's kind of inspired by the Parachutey that I knit for my child already, and as I have taken to wear it so much, she rightly requested that I make another, and that's something obviously I'm happy to fulfill. Linen knit wishes. There's I hope I showed the cardigan, the Harry Styles cardigan, in my last podcast. I think I did. That was a request and I kind of happily fulfilled that. And I might add to that cardigan with like make it a set of 3 items where the cardigan could be the top, and then just add some bottoms and a toy as well, because that cardigan is actually beautiful. Obviously, because we went to the concert 10 days ago, obviously it was way too hot. It was when there was this kind of first hot period here, and it was definitely not the weather for alpaca woolly big coat. We took it there, it came along, it was definitely a witness to the beauty of Harry Styles' gig. It was, and I saw so many cool renditions of that pattern. Or yeah, one of the items that I saw already early on in the queue was a cool like a crossbody bag that was crocheted in those shades, and I'm like, that could be something I could add to that set as the toy or accessory, because we're quite open with those definitions. So okay, I've done it. So at the moment it looks like a blue triangle, and the Parachutey is a pattern by Stephen West where you come from the side, so the front is knitted across in garter, and then you do kind of your neck decreases and you knit straight at the bottom. At the moment I'm just increasing. Actually, I have the Parachutey here that this is inspired by. So I'm knitting, I'm gonna just plop it on the table and I will check how far I've come. Yeah, it's pretty good going. I guess I can do the neckline soon. And the idea is that this time it's like half blue and then half green. I might use this minty green or spinach, which is a bit more kind of like washed out green. It's currently sold out, but as soon as it arrives, I think I'm gonna like quickly grab a skein and show the child in question. Hopefully that's this week, we'll see. And then, yeah, the idea is that this side is half this royal blue and half green. And then the other side has exactly this. And she would like to wear it with this as the front and the other thing as the back. So I will change the way I add the back and not go as far, because the idea is with this top that it kind of slants. You can tell now when I hold it up, because the garter in the back is knit top down. Obviously it stretches much more, like almost like an accordion once it's wet, and after a bit of wear it'll be longer than the front. So I will try to synthetically, well, I'll try to adjust or hack the pattern so that I stop the back sooner, and I can kind of use this as a guiding point, so that instead my blue and green front slopes and goes lower at the back, which will make it all a little bit less hazardous to knit because it becomes like a very endless row of garter that you're doing for the back. Like you're obviously have more and more stitches as you go along. And yeah, I think that was the kind of hacking I need to do. Oh, and I'm following an instruction by my friend Julia, who I also managed to see recently in Berlin. Julia was visiting for a weekend and we got to hang out for half a day, which was really lovely. Her account is Me and Simone, and she's kept like a little highlight, I think they're called, of her stories at the top that you can click on, which is this hack of the adult size parachutey that Stephen West had designed. They're friends. I think Julia often does like sample knits for Stephen, so I think it was with agreement that she could share this hack. So I used that as a guidance to make this, plus the other one that I finished last year for a 3 to 4 year old, so that was even tinier. And I will use that hack again, and I can obviously use this because it fits the person in question. So I'm not even a third in, maybe a fifth, because I've done this one like triangle part, like I have about this much halfway into that purple, but I am enjoying it. It's really great, like mindless garter stitch, just like I know what I'm doing, just keep going. And it's very nice to have a project like that. I actually needed that for the weekend, to have a simple project to craft on, or yeah, take to knit nights and things. We had the most beautiful knit night. It was gorgeous. I really had a great time. You will see in the knit reportage. So I wanted to show you the drawings. I don't only have this on the needles for Magic 3 Mile. There's other projects too. Yeah, so this is the drawing of what I was trying to describe right now, the Parachutey, with this becoming the front and that the back. And I've also got on the needles the little Truffle the pig from here, from the mini Pom. This pig, I will get the project in a minute and show you. So, and I don't know if you get these suggestions, but I keep seeing this amazing pair of shorts by Toast, a UK fashion and lifestyle page that is very overpriced. I literally just cannot afford. But I thought I could try and patchwork myself some fabric in this kind of look, like a checkerboard with like patterned, sea lifey colored, and then like a brown. So I will use the linen fabric in this brown from work, and I will kind of patchwork it with patterned, or I might add embroidery over the top. So at the moment that's my idea for this kind. And then the camera cut out, so that's great. I can hopefully, oh no, I thought it was in here, it's not. Let me look for Truffle. That was good timing. The camera cut out, so it gave me a chance to get my vacuum sealed Truffle pig. Look at that. Well, I'm at the point where I have to add the eyeballs, and I'm taking ages. Well, it's just been kind of on the needles and in this bag for, I don't know, maybe 3 months, 2 months. And yeah, but once I've placed the eyes, I can, and I've stuffed it a little bit just to get the nose a bit into shape. It kind of looks a bit funny, I'm sorry. But yeah, I will add the eyeballs, and then I can start with the decreases for until the tail, and then I'll need to knit 4 legs, and then Truffle Pig will be finished. So 2 kind of two projects on the go that I'm very excited to now pick up, that I've had this big event, done lots of amazing linomukakal knitting prior to, and now I'm like, oh yeah, let's go into the little projects of summer that I've been dreaming about for so long. So yeah, I'm very excited to, yeah, it already helped to just pick it up for you now and to make these drawings and to think Piglet and Parachutey and to just get going. Yeah, I'm excited about that. And to do some patchworking, which I've learned from my friend Lisa, who is eahc, who's already so busily making beautiful little kids' socks and things. And I just love seeing all your projects. There's a really beautiful little dog. It's almost like a puppy dog project that I saw, and some beautiful garments are already on the go. So thank you so much for sticking to those projects and sharing and showing them. I always really enjoy being tagged and yeah, seeing them. My second set I also made a drawing for. I want to make the mini cordy, which is another design from this book, the mini Pom. And the cordy is a mini, what's it called? Mini cordy is page 64. Let me show you. It's by Kiyomi Burgin again, the designer of the Taro Tee, together with Sashiko Burgin. So the two sisters designed the cordy as an adult pattern first in their book Turtle and Moon, and I think they made the mini cordy especially for the mini Pom. And I'm thinking to, yeah, I think the colors are gonna be very similar to the color work here, apart from that the main color I have is a really, really bright orange, extremely bright orange. It's old stash, so I kind of tried to draw the colors of the colorway into this kind of sketch, and I couldn't get it as orange. I couldn't get my watercolors to glow as orange as actually what I plan to make. Then I decided for the bottoms to make like a jumpsuit. I'm trying to find a good pattern, let's see, and I extremely want to, hope to, fingers crossed, cast on Aggie the Sheep from Moosh and Friends from Cynthia. It's a beautiful book, and I have not regretted buying it. That's a little hint for what I spoke about last time. I don't know if it made any sense to anyone, but it made lots of sense to me now that I'm actually starting to dream to cast some things on from it. So sometimes, yeah, it's good to buy books when you feel like you will enjoy it. And I made another third set of drawing because I know a few other friends want to do this potentially alongside of the Magic 3 Mile child, like projects for little people. I want to do one for myself. I want to make a set of things for myself. I intend to sew the Hinterland dress, and I've just had mail, which is perfect timing for this podcast episode, because it literally arrived today that I wanted to record this and talk about the new Eve's cardigan hack. I wear the Eve's cardigan hack, which is like a vest, like a sleeveless version of the Eve's cardigan by the Western Sitters, a lot, and it fits greatly. And although I hacked it and used an Aran weight for this DK weight pattern, you know, I'm thinking I'm gonna do the same, because I think the yarn that I bought is thicker than DK again. So I'm gonna show you that and my acquisitions from Wedding Wool Weekend in a minute. But for now I wanted to talk about the set. So it's the eaves cardigan in a vest form. I want to sew myself the hinterland dress in black linen, or yeah, if I have enough of the black linen in stash I will use that. If not, I will use the charcoal, because I think black linen is sold out at work, so I would use the graphite, which is like a charcoaly grey, so very dark grey. And yeah, and then I know the pattern hasn't been released yet, but Imogen Denton, she makes these keychains and felts them, so they're knitted keychain holders with these kind of almost like a mushroom top to hold the key so it doesn't jiggle as much, because I keep losing my key. I like literally lost it at work for a whole week, and I need to have a key thing and so I'm gonna make it myself. So if anybody wants to join in making magical 3 items as a set for themselves, please feel invited to. I'm like diving into the sewing and the making. Actually, that's something I need to show you, my finished dress. And then we'll go into acquisitions. So have a little medley of my magic 3-mile making going into like some of my dress highlights. Dress! It's the first dress I ever made myself, and it's the zero waist gathered dress. Abbreviated, it's ZW gathered dress by Brigitta Hilmerson, and there is a new book that's all like zero waist patterns. Sorry, I'm like stumbling over those W's. And yeah, I really enjoyed making it. I used a fabric that my friend Verena had gotten me from the Maybachufer market. It's a market in the south of Berlin, and there's lots of stalls with fabrics. This is 100% cotton with the black, very inky print on it, and I love the color. It's very kind of purpley pink, it's a very dusty grey pink, I would say, with purple tints. And I added buttons from Merchant and Mills that we sell at our shop. And yeah, I'm happy. I made the hack for the gathered sleeves as well, which turned out exactly how I wanted. And I took it really slow. I think I started this in April, and you know, I did an hour at a time, maybe 2, 3 towards the end. I do things slowly because I have this thing about being scared with the sewing machine running away with me, and it definitely ran away like with these top stitches. In the end I was like, they're not nice, but luckily the pattern is so busy nobody will ever see the top stitching I did, and that I'm not content with it. So who cares? I've got a dress, and I hand stitched the hem, which I really like that. I like hand stitching things that are details, like the bottom hem, because then I know I can get it back under control. I can slow down. It makes sense to me to work that slowly, and it kind of looks neater, I think, because now I don't have hardly any stitches on the side, because I use, I don't know what the stitch is called, that makes small stitches, tiny little stitches that hardly show, so I don't have like a seam all around the bottom again. And let me stand and show you. I did do this triangle that is there in the pattern of how you kind of reinforce the seam area and support the hem. I don't know if it, okay, let me sit down again. I don't know if it changed anything of the look to do that, but I did that. And I used the patch by Wollen Nature for the back as like a little hidden secret detail. Yeah, I loved making it, and I will definitely carry on sewing now. Okay, I'm gonna stay in my changed outfit, I think. It's a bit weird to look different halfway through, but that's how it is. I wanted to talk about my acquisitions from the market. So if this is not for you, then fair enough, that's fine. You can skip ahead to the knit reportage in Taro Oracle. I'm putting the timestamp here so that you can do that. I obviously got a bit soft during Wedding Wool Weekend, and I did buy some things, and I've got unboxing, as in I've got to unwrap certain something. So I'll start with that, and then I'll go into acquisitions from the Wedding Wool Weekend. I've got a parcel from Japan in December or sometime, I don't know, I can't even remember. There was a shop update with the Studio Ghibli colorways by Mel of Big Little Yarn Co., who I absolutely adore, and I got soft, so I treated myself. Look at this. There is 3 skeins of the Ponyo and Sasuke colorway, my family's favorite Studio Ghibli movie. I actually invited my friends for my birthday in the pandemic, and we, like 3 people, to just watch Ponyo and knit and eat nice things. This is the Ponyo and Sasuke colorway, and this is the empty bucket as a reference point. And I want to make the whatchamacallit, the Eve's cardigan in the vest version from this. Oh, it's gonna be so beautiful. It's the Superwash Merino worsted, so it's like a 2-ply. I think it should just be enough for this. If it doesn't turn out adult size, there's someone who will love it in my family. It's so squidgy, and I love the colors. And because I'm such a big Ponyo fan, I also got it on sock. base, the ponyo and soske on the trusty sock by Big Little Yarn Co. Thank you, Mel, for making my day, for sending me some nice yarns, and for making Studio Ghibli colorways. I mean, how amazing. I'm excited for this vest pattern. Okay, let's go into wedding wool weekend and start with one thing, because I made some bags, and I think as I upload this, my shop, my Etsy shop should go online with my first ever screen print bags. So I made the screen and printed bags on like found leftover fabric. Yeah, there are several more that I hand sew, and then there's these bags where I did the same print in a neon, and here you can also see my little logo that I print on the back called Yarnchix Goods. And these bags are cool. I actually saved one for myself from it because it's so great for linomukakal knitting. It has two compartments, so as I am knitting this, I can pop both balls in, and they shouldn't tangle as badly as they can. I mean, this is definitely something I recommend when you cake your skeins, but obviously with my balls I have no issues. I'm sorry. Yarn balls are much safer. They don't tangle as much as cakes, but these two compartments are great also if you use like something with mohair. You know, you can like use the two compartments. I'm working on another little thing for yarn cakes, so I'm excited for the shop update to go live. Probably by the time this goes up, because I might only be able to edit and put this up on Monday, so then the shop will already be live. So you go check out my shop. Ha! That's me self-advertising, how dare I. So that was one thing from Wedding Wool Weekend, and then on the first day I got soft, and I bought minis from Prue in these really cool neon colors. Prue is punk rock unicorn, and especially this neon color really spoke to me. And then I have this, I like these kind of variegated multi-colored yet pastel-y colors in this mini set by Dea, who is punk rock unicorn, and their table was right next to us, so I kept looking over and I kept seeing all the minis disappearing. I was like, I've got to have one. I'm so happy I scored a mini set from Dea. And then across from Dea there was Saskia, who is Ovis etc., who also had a mini set that I couldn't resist. Look at this purple, and then I realized, oh, there's this bigger skein in the set, and I asked, oh Saskia, I want to buy this mini set. She's like, oh, it's the Nana set for the Nana duck who is in the book Moosh and Friends, and Saskia kind of designed a mini set so you can knit Nana duck. So great, I'm obviously gonna knit Nana duck, and I'm gonna use the leftovers from the minis for other beautiful projects. So they were the two things I bought that were mini skeins, and I went over to Funk Fibers, or the Funk Fibers. Their tagline is made to create, and I couldn't resist this color. It's the Merino Sport. It's 100% merino wool. Yeah, sport weight, 3-ply, and the colorway is called Blush. I don't know if the camera catches these really cool peachy tones. Actually, there's some darker tones. The camera might be washing it out a little bit more. It's less pink and more, it's less light pink and more darkish, muted, but I suppose, yeah, you know, it's the camera that can't can't show the full color. Sorry, I was checking in the camera. It's beautiful. I really like all of these together. Just make me feel like ice creamy, pastel-y, very my mood at the moment. And then on the second day, I finally made it to the stall by Making Stories at the back, who had Yule of the Woolen Twine, this beautiful label, visiting, and I grabbed one of the Corriedale non-superwash plastic-free sock yarns. I kind of like this muted color. I was a bit inspired by the Laulu shawl that Yule was wearing when we had a little Laulu shawl meetup, and I kind of saw that Laulu and I was like, oh, that's really nice in this kind of slightly variegated brownish pink. I don't know, has the color got, it's called Ivory, but I find it's a bit more red or dark than like a cream. I like it. I really, really like it, and it goes well with this mood. And the last skein, and it was highly inspired by Saskia's project when we sat together Friday night, is from Ovis Etc. Their Tussa silk, so it's 100% silk. And Saskia was knitting a bralette by Jessie May Designs. I don't know which pattern, but I'm gonna double check which one of those patterns I would want to use. And just imagine this for underneath this. Woo, yeah, now we're talking. A silk bralette to go under my pom top. The colors, yum. That was coincidental. So, well, maybe not. Maybe I just fell in love with this color because I love the light green. I don't know, but maybe it wasn't coincidental. Maybe it was all a yarn fume high. But yeah, just look at that. That's everything I bought. I didn't manage to buy anything else. I'm sorry if I had... Oh, I did buy some bags from Calico, which I'm gonna quickly get. Let me show you those. Okay, and in my own Summer Knitting Club tote, also available through my Etsy, I have the two Calico bags I bought. This really small one. I love the illustration. It says breathe, and then this one with the star with this all but true message, doomed anyway. I like the kind of tongue-in-cheek ness of this design by Anya, and yeah, I'm excited. I got to buy some of their plant-dyed bags. Okay, I'm really happy you joined me today. How nice of you to stay till the very end. I've got some mending to do. I did finish the sock leg so that I can add, because I accidentally felted one of the socks, and it's also Zari Nordlund pattern, the Midnight Dancer socks, and I need to replace the leg because I used a different sock yarn for the foot which never felted. So it's kind of like sock surgery I need to do, and I'm holding myself accountable by sharing it on the podcast. Because then I need, then it'll make me actually join them so I can show you next time. So a bit like when I gave you a peep of this dress last time, it was kind of in the background. This time I'm showing you a little peep of this is finished and this yarn is ready for the, you gotta mattress stitch it on. You gotta join the two things. It's not my favorite thing, but it just means cutting the felted part off. And yeah, why not do that? like this week so that I can wear them with sandals. I think they look hilarious in sandals. And the other thing I want to try and do this week so I can add it to my Etsy shop is finally print the self-care. It's like the self-care, the newest Yarnchix zine, number 13. Which I recently printed the cover for ages ago. It's more mending diary and some more like mending content, which I really love talking about mending. Yes, and summer projects is also what I love talking about. So here, without further ado, is the knit reportage all about the Wedding Wool Weekend, which was a summer festival for yarn and yarny goods like bags and magazines, and yeah, there was some beautiful stuff there. And you could, Keatscan, for example, dyed a really beautiful festival yarn colorway that I didn't manage to grab, but also I'm gonna ask her about it, and maybe I can show it here anyway. And there is like some just beautiful things. So I've made a knit reportage filming stuff throughout. I was very busy working, so it's not so much content, but it's a little bit, so it's enough for a knit reportage. And then I will ask my tarot cards about focus. So it's going to be focus ? Because I can't even think of how to phrase a question that is like not yada yada, because I just want to go focus ? So if you're interested in what the Taro Knit Oracle has to say about focus, or if you're interested to see some glimpses of Wedding Wool Weekend, then stay on. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching until here, to, that you stayed for my own little unboxing treat. And yeah, I'm happy that you're here and that you visited me. Have a great day, with or without crafting. And yeah, look after yourself. Bye-bye. See you later.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell